I don't know, hold on. Okay. Yes. Good. Good. All right, guys. We're on. Okay. Good evening, everyone. It is now 6:32. Welcome to the Lower Saucon Township Council meeting. It is Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. Can we have informational items from the acting manager, Jay Finnegan?
Thank you. The meeting is being broadcast live on YouTube and is being recorded for future broadcast.
Bing. Okay. Stacy, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. De Leon,
Here.
Mr. Gress,
Here.
Mr. Heimbecker,
Here.
Ms. Altough Cordero,
Here.
Ms. Ray,
Here.
and also present tonight is myself, Stacy Werkheiser, Township Secretary, Mr. Finnegan, our acting manager, our solicitor, Mr. Gadzouzian, and our engineer, Andrew Yusa.
Thank you very much. Can everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do not have any announcements. There was no on executive session. We did not have one. We do not have any junior council members present. They will join us in September, and we have advertisements out for those positions. So hopefully we will get a nice group for this fall. There is a public comment procedure out in the hallway, but basically we have a 3-minute comment period at the beginning, towards the beginning of the agenda, on agenda items only. And then there is also a 3-minute comment period at the end of the meeting, which is for agenda and non-agenda items. That will happen after presentations, but since we don't have any presentations, I will now open the floor to public comment on agenda items with a 3-minute limit. If you would like to speak on anything on the agenda, now is your time. Please come to the podium and announce yourself.
Hi, my name is. Is it on?
Now it is.
Is it on? Yeah.
No, okay, sorry.
Jennifer Helton of Lower Saucon. Thank you, everybody, for all the hard work. I just have one item that I would like to bring up. I am co-chair of the EAC, and I would like to ask if you would not go to public hearing on the encasement of ordinance Lawn to Meadow, that you give EAC time to read through the ordinance and then come back with some feedback before doing the public hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. Anybody else would like to speak on agenda items? Please come to the podium.
I agree with the former speaker. That ordinance needs a lot of work. Anyhow, my name is Dave Boulan, 2023 House Drive, and I have a couple of thoughts about this. First of all, kudos to Jay and his staff. Wonderful job on the agenda, the way you formatted it, the way you can just pull up the text right next to whatever you're looking at. Certainly a job well done. I wish we could get the rest of it to do it. My comments were on the lawn and meadow ordinance, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, what I was really crisped about, 13 pages on this proposed ordinance. And by the way, this has been out before, somewhere back around 2013 or 2014, and we had fields of flowers, et cetera, et cetera. It didn't work. We had tick problems, all sorts of things. So I suggest that perhaps people relook at this thing. It's really goofy. The thing that really gets me, though, is here we have a statement that these meadows do a wonderful job to replenish everything, and everything's great, more this, that, and the other thing. I would say to you, what the EAC needs to do is to get together more carefully and watch what their members do in public. And what I refer to here is Mr. Sutton cutting down 40 huge trees which supply oxygen, clean the air, on and on and on. And what happens? Doesn't get a slap on the hand, gets nothing. And Mr. De Leon reappoints somebody after that. Congratulations. I would say that you need to work on these things and be absolutely straight down the line on them. Stabilization of the barn, I find that's really interesting. I find that 13 pages on an ordinance on meadows and nothing on this barn stabilization. It says absolutely nothing. It doesn't say how much this stabilization is going to cost us, who's going to do it, who's going to work on it. Nothing, not a peep. So I don't understand what's going on. You people have a budget, you have money. I didn't see anything in the original plan about stabilization or anything like that. Who's running the ship here? It certainly isn't clear. It's the same old, hey, give us some more money. So I would suggest you work on that clearly before you ask the taxpayer, hey, we need more money, we need more of this, that, and the other thing. Nobody's really looked at this thing. It's getting crazier by the minute. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. Anybody else would like to speak on agenda items, please come to the podium. Going once, twice. Okay, we are moving on. Hearings, we do not have any hearings this evening. We also do not have any developer items. Moving on to township business, we first have the Royce variance 08-26/1483 Colesville Road. The applicant is seeking a relief from 10.1 feet for the construction of an addition. Is anybody here on that matter?
Yep, we're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do invite you to come sit at the table. There are microphones. If you press the button, it will turn green. There is also a clicker. If you'd like to refer to anything on the screen, feel free to do that, and just give us a moment while Stacy turns off the lights for...
They're all.
They're off, never mind. Thank you so much, and go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Sam Morgan from the law offices of Fitzpatrick, Winston, Buda, and I represent the applicant here tonight, Eric and Tether Royce. To my left is Tether Royce, the homeowner. I'll just give a brief overview of their relief we're seeking. The applicant's looking to add an addition to the existing single-family home located on the property. The relief is related to the front yard setback. The addition itself is approximately 1,500 square feet. The relief related to the setback is approximately 10 feet from the front yard in the right of way. The relief is related to the location of the addition and the functionality of where the addition needs to be located for purposes of the existing kitchen on the property, the existing configuration of the single-family dwelling itself, and maintaining the character of the, we'll call it the farmhouse-style home itself. Besides that, I guess I'll open it up to council for any questions you have for us related to the relief, and we'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming. I just want to, for the public's benefit, when there's an applicant that comes forward with a variance request, it comes to council for us to be aware of it, but we do not make the ultimate decision on variances. council has the decision to either support the application, to take no action, which means that the applicant, would go to zoning hearing board, and the council would not have anything to do with whatever they decide, or oppose an applicant's request, in which case the township would represent the township's interest in some way, shape, or form before the zoning hearing board. But we do not make the decision on whether or not the variance is granted or opposed, so I just wanted to put that out there. I personally do not have any questions. Does anybody else on council have any questions for
I
that?
don't have any questions. The packet was very, what's the word I want, it was very informative, so.
No questions from me.
Okay, great. I will entertain a motion to take no action on the variance.
I'll make the motion to take no action on this.
Second.
Before we do a roll call, I'd like to state for the record, I have done some work for Mr. and Mrs. Royce. I just want to indicate that it has nothing to do with any of their real estate matters or otherwise, but I just want to disclose that, just so everybody knows. Obviously, I don't vote under these circumstances, but nonetheless, I want to disclose it.
Thank you. And if this motion passes, then we will be taking no action anyway. So we're not involve our solicitor. Stacy, can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. De Leon,
Yes.
Mr. Gress,
Yes.
Mr. Heinecker,
Yes.
Ms. Altough Cordero,
Yes.
Ms. Ray.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Good luck at the zoning hearing board.
Thank you.
Good luck with your addition. Next, we will move on to the Hendricks variance, 3641 Old Philadelphia Pike. The applicant is seeking relief of 6 feet for the construction of a deck. Is anybody here on Hendricks variance? Welcome. Please have a seat at the table. I think that the microphone may still be on, but if it's lit green, then it's still on. So if you'd like to introduce yourselves, I just want to make sure you heard what I just explained to the first variance. So we don't get to decide your variance. We will just be able to give some input to the zoning hearing board. But go ahead, introduce yourselves and explain what you'd like.
All right, so my name is Brian Hendricks,
And his wife, I'm Samantha Hoxie.
and we are seeking a variance to build a deck off of the back southeast corner of our home. And we're seeking relief, I'm using that word now. So we're seeking relief because our home is really towards the southern end of our property. And so in order to align the side of the deck with the walkway that we have on the side of the house, we would like to be able to kind of encroach like within the limit of, I think it's 12 feet within the border. We would like to move it within 4 at the very closest where the steps are, and then the property's not, house isn't parallel to the property, so we'll actually move away like to 6 feet at the back end of the deck.
And the entrance to the back of the property is on the side as well.
So we can't just go up the back, we'd have to go up the south side of the home.
Thank you. Did you contact your neighbors? Or do you have a neighbor that abuts that portion that you're seeking?
Yes, we do,
variance from?
yeah. We talked to Jeff well before we considered getting somebody to build it and seeking the variance. And he was he's aware of it, and we sent him a letter, and everybody within 200 feet of our home sent letters too. So, and we talked to neighbors on both sides of our house. Yeah.
That's wonderful that you did that. I was just going to recommend that if you hadn't spoken with them, that you do so, just so that you don't have any surprises at your zoning hearing board meeting. Does anybody from council have any questions for this applicant?
The packet was informative, so.
Okay, I will recommend or I will entertain a motion to take no action on this variance.
I'll make a motion to take no action on this agenda item.
I'll second that. To take no action or take no position, so.
It says no action. What's the word we want?
It should be no position.
Okay, sorry, I'll amend my motion to no position.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, thank you, Hunter. Stacy, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Gress,
Yes.
Mr. Heinecker,
Yes.
Ms. Alto Cordero,
Yes.
Ms. Ray,
Yes.
Ms. De Leon.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you. So what that means is we're not getting involved in the decision, and good luck for you at the zoning hearing board.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have the Barrios One Stop Auto Sales, variance 0726 3507 Route 378. Is anybody here on behalf of the applicant?
I hear.
Okay. If you would go ahead and introduce yourself and explain what you're looking for, and you've heard what I explained earlier about what council's role is in a variance application.
Right, correct.
Okay.
My name is Veronica Santana, and I'm here requesting an additional 6 parking spaces on the left side of the property. The 6 parking spaces do fall on another home, but when the home was rented, or the commercial building, it was actually rented with those parkings.
Okay. I just want to clarify, I think that the request was for more than 6 parking spots.
6 on the opposite side.
Okay. I just want to turn it over to our solicitor because he may have some questions.
And it sounds like, looking at the application, the zoning ordinance requires 23 spaces and there's 6 on your property, is that right?
Correct.
So then you're short 17 out of the 23 on your property.
No, we have parking in the front and we have parking in the back, but we're just requesting on the left side where unfortunately they're not counting that because it doesn't fall on the property.
So you're asking for 6 spaces on Route 378?
Correct, it's still on 378. It's just on the property right next to it.
On a separate property, not your property?
Correct.
Okay. And is it your position that if you get those 6, you'll have all 23 spaces?
We will have the parking requested.
All right, for the members of council, you saw the packet that was provided. This is somewhat different than some of the variances we normally see where it's an extension of a deck or otherwise. You're dealing with parking off of 378. You're dealing with an issue with regard to potential health and safety with regard to traffic issues and so on. This is something that you might want to consider. Although we frequently do not take a position, this is something you might want to consider taking a position on based on the health issues and so on. Because what the applicant is asking for is essentially relief for parking on a relatively heavily congested area where they will have either inadequate parking or they'll be utilizing somebody else's property for parking, which is something that we do not do or regularly do not do here in Saucon. So what was it? Go ahead, ma'am.
Excuse me, I apologize. It's not in the front, it's in the side and in the back. And it was already there, grandfathered. It's not like I'm doing any changes. This was already pre-existing. So obviously, they had those issues with the prior owners.
And the way it normally works for zoning purposes is whenever there's a new use, the new use has to meet the requirements. Whether or not it was grandfathered, that's a separate issue, and certainly the applicant can argue that. The zoning hearing board has every right to do that. Sorry, I believe Priscilla has a question.
I have a question, if I don't want to interrupt you. So I'm looking at this, and maybe somebody can show me on the map, but you have to have egress and ingress. And so you're talking about, usually you have one entrance, you know what I'm saying? So what's going to happen then? Like, how are you going to get to those 6 parking spaces?
Well, I rent the home right next to it. So that's not an issue either. The commercial building is on the left side and it goes around as a circle. I don't know if I'm able to use this. I can just show you in the map.
It's a tricky one.
Oh, I think you
Or
laid out
use
it
a
backwards.
pointer.
Here, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, so
goes to the back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Trying to find right now the property. So this is the front of the property, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the front of the property. The parkings that I'm requesting that were already pre-existing are here.
On a different lot.
That's a different.
Right next to it, correct. And then right in the back, we have another lot where obviously, you know, I would be able to put cars there. But this is also open, the fence. But right on this wall, the parkings would be there.
So if I
And this
understand,
is all open. So that you can definitely do a K-turn, you can definitely come straight in and do a K-turn and then come back out. You have more than enough room. It's not like they have to do anything in the front of the building.
That number 6 there, that, like right there where you have the.
That's its parking.
Those are parking spots that are like right up against Route 378. Is there any buffer between those parking spaces and the actual, like?
Yeah,
and
you do have room. I wanna say, at least 8-10 feet to the street.
That's probably there's probably a pretty big right of way on 378.
Yeah, it was just,
I don't know what it is.
I mean, the other, I can say, you know, concern that I have with this, and it's not that I don't appreciate your business and want you to have it, I do, it's just that when if you don't own the lot next to you in which you're seeking a variance for, that property owner at any time can sell their property and change arrangements, which would then impact whether or not you had the appropriate parking spaces. So typically, at least on my understanding, is when you are seeking to use another lot next to yours to cover some of the requirements that you have for your business, you would want to do either own that lot and do a lot consolidation, and that's how that would be accommodated. I think that the engineer's office has shared with you their comments about it, or have we shared any memos with the applicant?
Sure. Stacy, could you bring the Google Earth picture up, and that this might be more descriptive?
Okay, thank you.
So,
Yeah, right,
if you look at the thing with the, I guess that's a bubble excellent.
right, exactly.
So that's the property that this applicant owns. And in front of it is where the 6 parking spaces are, and you can see the white line which depicts travel lines on 378, which shows that, as she stated, 8 to 10 feet of separation between the parking and the
But how
spaces.
would they would have to pull in directly from 378 and then how
yes.
they back out?
Yes.
Right.
That is like a very
But
big.
those, correct me if I'm wrong, ma'am,
Yes.
that's where you're gonna store vehicles that are for sale.
Well, majority of our vehicles are online, they're actually auctioned. From the bank, they go to the auction. This would be just for customer parking, right here. And then on the side, we would use those 6 parkings that we're requesting, right here for those, let's say, 6 cars that we decide just to have on the property. And then whatever that's left over in the back. Now, in the previous picture, you saw that there was this little septic right here. So we're not allowed to park anything in this section.
What is that? Okay.
That's a septic or sewer,
Okay.
so nothing is allowed to be parked literally behind the building. So we have this lot right behind here that we are able to park our actual cars if we wanted to.
Which is on the parcel, correct?
That is on our parcel, correct?
Correct. Good question.
Yes.
not a way to
The
access.
question I
There
have,
is,
to access those spaces in back,
yes,
you have to transverse over the property that's owned by somebody else next door to you.
correct, sir.
And the 6 spaces that would be on the, looking at this, the north side of that building that you're asking for are also on the adjoining property owners.
Correct, sir. And the owner, the actual landlord, because I'm only renting for the next 3 to 5 years, he owns this house, this house, this house, the house all the way to the back.
Okay, but I'm not trying to,
So I guess that's why he did that.
yeah, my suggestion would be that you enter into agreement that is
Right
binding
there.
with the adjoining property owner. That's a legal document that can be recorded at the courthouse, that you have access through his property. And if it sells, it stays with,
It runs with the land.
it runs with the land.
Okay,
So that's how I would suggest you go to the zoning hearing board with that in hand, that you have an agreement from him, that you have access through his property, and then it's up to the zoning hearing board. But, because right now, you really don't have, all you have is 6 parking spaces that you have direct access to,
correct, the ones in the
the
front,
ones in the front.
right.
And how many does the
Can you turn
ordinance
that so we go
require?
south more? Just a little bit.
Right, because, and then right here, you can't go in here, but you can go in the other side.
Yeah, I
Right
understand
here.
that this might be
Yeah.
a grandfathered property, or I have some safety concerns as far as people pulling in and out on Route 378 at that location, being able to back out of those spots effectively. And I'm not sure if PennDOT has any restrictions on that might.
It's a pre-existing driveway, so they would take the permits away.
Yeah, but where's the driveway?
Well, the access onto 378 is pre-existing.
Right, okay. Well, I understand the situation, I think, the way that it was written in here is a little bit different from the way that it was, you're describing it, where it was from the zoning office, it's looking for a relief of 17 parking spaces, but that doesn't sound accurate.
If you look at the supplemental narrative, which is part of the application made by the applicant,
I think it is, if,
pardon me, if I can. If you're just looking at the supplemental narrative, it's what they provided, and it's what's the official record with regard to the application. It indicates at the bottom of it on page 1 of 2, it says a variance to allow for the provision of only 6 off-street parking spaces where 23 spaces are required. So it is consistent with the zoning officer's memo, not consistent with what the applicant said. I'm not suggesting the applicant did anything wrong, it just might be a miscommunication. But at least on their application, it says there's only 6 where 23 are required, which is a variance of 17.
But if she has a lot in the back, in the rear, that provides remaining
she
housing
has no
space.
access to that, she has to use the adjoining land to get
Right,
to
I
it.
understand that.
That's the variance that I would need, or the approval, to be able to use that
And they
entrance.
can't count it until you have a formal written agreement.
Like, yeah, as the manager said, I'm not sure that you can guarantee your perpetual or access to that
Yeah,
location in the rear, which would effectively remove those parking spaces.
I mean, I feel for you in the situation, I understand it's an older parcel and that you rented there. I just think that you might benefit from working with an attorney and working out some of these legal issues that you have because the properties are not consolidated into one lot and needing to have that legal documentation that proves that you will always have that access to the back parking and the side parking. I think those are the main issues that have to be contended with. So our staff at this point in time is recommending that we oppose your current variance. That's not to say that you couldn't make those corrections or work with an attorney to help with those things, or the landowner. So I know, I don't know if anybody else has any other things, or if they'd like to make a motion on this particular
So
application.
if she's able to obtain a legal contract with the property owner that's to the north side that she's currently renting, that guarantees her ingress and egress to the rear of this facility,
And the side.
and the rear becomes a parking lot, and the side for additional parking, then she would satisfy the 23 space requirement.
It sounds like it, but then she'd still be using somebody else's property for those additional spaces. So she'd be using somebody else's property to gain access, as well as utilizing the other person's property for
There's
parking.
too many ifs.
So perhaps what council might want to consider is this: to make a motion, if you're inclined, to make a motion to oppose and to send the solicitor to oppose this current zoning application. And then it's going to be part of your motion, or at least give her the direction that perhaps she'd be better served by speaking with her attorney, coming back before council with an alternative plan, saying, hey, here's what I can do, and perhaps council might change their position once they hear it. But as is, I understand why council would be inclined to.
You don't want her to lose the application fees and all
We
that
have a
stuff.
continuance, so what would happen is she would continue the hearing, come back to us in August perhaps, and say, here's what I have from the owner, here's a clarification of this plan, because it's not her fault, it's not what she does for a living. So maybe come back and say, okay, here's what I'm trying to do, here's the flow chart, here's where parking goes, and then we can take another look at it.
Well, yeah, I would like to give her that opportunity. I would like to make that motion. So if you stick with the current option, then I'm making a motion that we send the solicitor to oppose this, but we would like to give you the opportunity to go and just correct some of those legal things so that it's more straightforward, and then come back to us again, hopefully, and then we wouldn't necessarily need to oppose it.
Would a legal contract provide her with compliance with the parking?
No, still not on its own. The zoning hearing board would still have to provide a variance or some sort of relief for it, even if she had the ability with the adjoining parcel. Because she still doesn't meet the requirements.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
I would love for you to be able to do that, and like us to our office to help you coordinate with the continuance to give you the opportunity to kind of correct some of those things. So I will make the motion as stated by the solicitor.
I want to make a comment though. So one thing that wasn't talked about, and maybe it changes your discussion with whoever, if the parking ends up being on the back of the property and you figure that out, like that would need to be paved for 17 spaces, and I don't know what kind of impervious coverage numbers are for this property, because there's nothing about that in here, so that might cause a different problem that somebody should think about.
Well, that was something that we talked about when this plan came through the EAC a month or so ago. We did give a comment back about impervious surface as well as drainage.
But we don't know what the percentage of, we don't talk about that kind of stuff.
I understand,
You
but
know,
there's also
like-
that drain that's right off to the roadside. You can see on the image there that,
I don't like the traffic patterns and all that stuff. It's too to me, it's too dangerous having all those cars pull out onto 378.
but that's already existing.
Hmm?
That's already existing. That's not
Yeah, but you
changing.
you don't continue it if you can stop it.
I understand.
It can be
It's a
changed
risk.
with the site plan.
So I think I need a motion consistent with what the solicitor had stated. I don't have a second at this point.
I want you to repeat your motion because I'm confused.
Yeah.
The motion was to, as I recommended was, or suggested was, motion to send our office to oppose the variance request as drafted, with the recommendation that I will reach out to their attorney or the attorney that prepared the application with the idea of perhaps continuing the variance and then making changes to the application, coming back to council to at least set forth their position a second time and see if something may or may not change. So the short answer is if they decide to go forward with it, that's their choice, and we would oppose it. If they decide to continue it, come back some other day, have council take a second look, we'll take a second look.
So we're protected by doing the first part of the motion.
Correct.
And then it's up to her whether or not she wants to proceed, change it, or whatever. Because if
Certainly it's their choice.
if it's exactly like this, we don't want it.
So, and my office would express that position at the hearing.
I understand.
So that I guess I made that motion as stated by the solicitor.
I'll second.
Now I have a roll call, Stacy?
Sure. Mr. Heimbechner,
Yes.
Ms. Southcott Cordero,
Yes.
Ms. Ray,
Yes.
Ms. De Leon,
Yes.
Mr. Gress.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
And then, ma'am, before you leave, what I'm going to do, just so you understand, and I hope you understood what happened, is I'm going to reach out to the attorney listed in your application, explain to him what happened,
Okay,
and then that way he has an understanding. I'm sure he'll be in touch with you, and
right,
then you'll go from there.
okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'd like to help you if we can.
Is there some understanding of like how long the contract term with the adjacent property owner would have to be enforced?
That's up to the applicants as to what they can come up with.
Okay.
And then still, it would be up to the zoning hearing board still
Still,
ultimately
ultimately, I
to,
understand.
whether they want to accept that as enough.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Next, we have item D, stabilization of the barn ruins in order to remove the fence and safely open the area to public access safely at the Heller Homestead. This is an update. So at the last council meeting, that is the official action that council took to direct the staff to look into what this would entail. Jay, do you have an update on this?
As directed by council, staff, myself, and the engineer, Mr. Cucker, have had 2 phone calls with Mr. Reed, who is supposed to be the expert on restoration of sites like this, and also 1 site visit. We are waiting for Mr. Reed to put together a document with hopefully multiple suggestions as to what we could do. Mr. Reed currently is traveling. I believe this is week 2 of 3 or 4 weeks, so I wouldn't expect anything concrete and back from Mr. Reed till late August or early September based on his travel schedule. I could be surprised, but that was based on the last conversation we had last Tuesday when we met with him.
Thank you. And then as soon as you hear back from them, then we would be able to place it on the next appropriate agenda to understand what our options are.
Assuming, I think he's gonna give recommendations. The options are gonna have to be developed because there's gonna have to be RFPs to whatever council decides is the appropriate action to take. So I think there'll be a presentation initially with multiple options.
Okay.
And then I've asked him for a best guesstimate on what he's gonna suggest. And then we'd have to put, with his assistance, he is actually suggesting that if we do anything, it would be a two-step process. The first step would be whoever is going to submit to the RFP that's developed a qualification statement, so we can review the qualifications of the individual or the concern that is going to do the job, and then have a separate bid for the actual work. That way you could eliminate a potential non-qualified applicant by going out and see the work that they've done at other locations.
I think that's wise.
Okay.
That's where it is right now.
It's gonna take time though.
Can you do that at the same time though? I mean,
It sounds like a 2-step process, like you have to do the
You
ask
develop
if they're
the bid
qualified,
documents
then
together.
we'll-
Yeah, you could do it
You
together.
can do it, okay, yeah, okay. You can do it together, but I like that idea that there would, that he would.
Yeah, well, he made it sound like you're gonna do the qualification and then you put out
That's
the
right,
RFP.
yeah.
Not really, yeah.
Okay. There is no action for us to take unless, does anybody have any question?
No, I wanted an update, that's all I wanted, and I appreciate the update, so it'll be the next August or September, whenever it comes in. Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, next, we have authorization to advertise for a public hearing the enactment of an ordinance of impervious coverage zoning amendment. I am going to ask our engineer's office to explain what was prepared and what we have before us this evening.
Thank you. Just as a point of history for this amendment to the ordinance, Around 2012, or I'm sorry, 2010 to 2011, Township Council was reviewing several zoning hearing board applications for variances exceeding maximum allowable impervious coverage. Township Council created the impervious cover table that's going to be amended as part of this package. And the initial reasoning behind it was to address concerns of residents that developers and builders were using too much of the initial impervious coverage that was allowed for the zoning district. This amendment will remove that table with the concerns in mind from the previous development. If a builder or developer is proposing a development, they can only initially propose 85% of their maximum impervious coverage. So that allows residents to put a deck, pool, patio, stuff like that after they purchase their lot. Are there any questions on that?
Now, so it all kind of goes together then?
Yes.
Because before, the developer got approval for whatever he needed, and then the homeowner would ask for other stuff, and it just went over. And some of the developments caused a lot of runoff problems and stuff, so this will be avoided, hopefully.
I appreciate the engineer's office putting that together. I will entertain a motion to authorize staff to advertise the enactment of the impervious coverage ordinance with a hearing date of September 16, 2026.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Can I have a roll call? Stacy?
Ms. Saucon Cordero,
Yes.
Ms. Ray,
Yes.
Ms. De Leon,
Yes,
Mr. Gress,
Yes.
Mr. Heinecker.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Next, we have authorization to advertise for public hearing the enactment of an ordinance lawn to meadow. I know that this was something Mr. Heinecker was asking us to entertain in light of our property maintenance code. So I will turn it over to Mr. Heinecker to discuss what we have so far.
Yeah, I brought this up after we passed the IMPC, yeah. And just as a concern to make sure that our residents have the autonomy with their property to do what they want with it. And part of that would be to convert lawns to meadows, to help propagate native species, pollinator habitats, wildflowers, butterflies, etc. And I think that I appreciate the administration for putting this ordinance together. I just got to look at it last week when this agenda was released, and I think there are some questions that we may have, and after discussing this with the rest of the Environmental Advisory Council last night, I feel like we need a little bit more time to review the particulars of this to make sure the approach matches the intent of what we're looking to do for our community. And with that, I would like to make a motion that we table this ordinance advertisement until a further date.
And I will second that motion.
I do support it, however, and I know we can get this through.
There isn't a discussion on a motion to table, it's a motion to table, not a vote.
We just go straight to the roll call, please.
Ms. Ray,
Yes.
Ms. De Leon,
yes,
Mr. Gress,
Yes.
Mr. Heinecker,
Yes.
Ms. Saucon Cordero.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, Stacey.
Thank you.
Thank you to staff and Chad. We'll wait for action on that. Next, we will move to budget transfers, resolution 59-2026. I will entertain a motion to approve resolution 59-2026 for budget transfers. Have a motion.
I will make that motion as stated by the president.
I'll second.
Thank you. Can I have a roll call, Stacy?
Ms. De Leon,
Yes,
Mr. Gress,
Yes.
Mr. Heinecker,
Yes.
Ms. Saucon Cordero,
Yes.
Ms. Ray.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Next, we have business items, council minutes from the June 17th, 2026 council meeting. I will entertain a motion to approve those council minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, Stacy.
Mr. Gress,
Yes.
Mr. Heimecker,
Yes.
Ms. Altough Cordero,
Yes.
Ms. Ray,
Yes.
Ms. De Leon.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much. Next, we have approval of the June 2026 financial report. Council's had that, it's part of the packet. I will entertain a motion to approve the June 2026 financial reports.
I'll make a motion.
Second that motion.
And a roll call, Stacy.
Mr. Heimecker,
Yes.
Ms. Altough Cordero,
Yes.
Ms. Ray,
Yes.
Ms. De Leon,
Yes.
Mr. Gress.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you very much. That does conclude our business items for council. Now we move on to public comment, which would be agenda and non-agenda items. So if you would like to come and speak about any item whatsoever, now is your opportunity to come to the podium and speak. We do have a 3-minute limit, but we do welcome you to the podium. Just go ahead and state your name. Go ahead.
Good evening, Donna Louder. Couple questions. The budget transfers, what was the reasoning behind that? I did see the examples of this came into this account, transferred to this account. Can somebody explain that to me, please?
I'll be glad to, if you would like, I can explain budget transfers.
I appreciate it, thank you.
I want to give you a call tomorrow, because we don't usually engage in banter back and forth.
Okay, that'll be fine, thank you. The lawn to meadow thing, great idea, it doesn't work. Our parks had, Steel City Park had it done in the swale, and it ended up turning into a mess, causing a lot of mosquitoes and other things, because that basin also held water. Just got nasty. And multiple residents of Steel City came to council and mentioned it, and EAC, and had asked them to mow it down, and gratefully they did it. Stabilization of the barn ruins. Can someone please give me a number on where we're at on the cost of this project? And Jay, can I have that tomorrow as well? Appreciate your time. And pretty much covers it. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you very much for your comment. Do we have anybody else who would like to speak on agenda or non-agenda items? Please come to the podium.
Jay, can I attend your meeting whenever it is? I'd like to also know.
I would assume it's going to be a phone call.
Okay, that's fine. I have a 3-way phone, honest, it works. As I say, there's just too many things here that we've not talked about. One of the things I find interesting, by the way, in passing, sort of hurt the attorney's ears, but usually doesn't. I don't understand how it is that the zoning board says that they're completely independent of the council, yet the council's here tonight, sitting there quizzing these applicants in detail, which to me, I don't understand why the zoning board is not doing that. I'm sure they could listen to whatever goes on here that may be in addition to, but what I find curious is that the council sits here and then says, we're going to make a motion to have, to either oppose, accept, or whatever, and we will send our attorney over there to let them know what we think. But indeed, the council appoints people on the zoning board, if I understand correctly. So to sit there and say you're independent is really curious. And as a matter of fact, I would go so far, not being an attorney, to say that's really a conflict of interest in the worst way. And it's really up to the quasi-legal zoning board, if I understand correct, to ask the questions, gather the information, and that could be part of it here, but to quiz these people and put them in positions already I think is really unfortunate. And as I say, maybe questionable. So if you have any thoughts on that, I wouldn't mind hearing it. But I know you people don't say anything. So unfortunately, unlike Mr. Treadwell, who would answer these questions for the public to hear and state his position right up front, we get nothing. We get silence and crickets. And that's not a very good way to have the public understand what's really going on. And that's why I want to know about those transfers. But I can see it fell on deaf ears. That's unfortunate. My name is Dave Bouland, for the record.
Thank you very much for your comment. Anybody else would like to speak on agenda or non-agenda items, please come to the podium. Going once, twice. I will move on to council reports then. I will start with Priscilla. Would you like to provide any council reports?
First of all, I'd like to say that unfortunately I was unable to attend the ribbon cutting for Get Joy yesterday, Lower Saucon's newest edition. But I want to extend my sincere congratulations to everyone involved in bringing this wonderful concept to life, creating opportunities for individuals with different abilities is meaningful work. And you can't remember writing, it will have a lasting impact on families throughout our community. Wishing you great success as you begin this exciting new chapter. The initiative set an example for other businesses, sets an example for other businesses to follow. And they have set the bar high and demonstrating what can include in the community with leadership looks like. I love watching the Facebook posts and seeing your employees' bright, big smiles. Their joy just says everything about the positive environment you have created. So I wish them the best of luck. I also want to say that I like this new diligent thing that we're doing. So I'm getting better at it each meeting. Is there any way, Steve, I'm going to ask you, if you could explain how it's perfectly legal for council to have zoning applicants come before council to present their case, because if the zoning hearing board makes a decision contrary to what council would like, we have the option of suing and appealing the case, and we put ourselves in a better position if we do this. So would you please explain that?
Sure. Not only is it allowable, it's appropriate for an applicant to come before the township council for township council to identify their position. The township and the zoning hearing board are two separate entities, and they're independent. The zoning hearing board members are appointed by council, as they are in every municipality. However, they're two separate entities, two separate solicitors. You can't have the same solicitor for both. You can't have members that sit on council to be on the zoning hearing board because they're independent. We are a separate entity, and if the township takes a position of opposition or in favor or no opposition or not in favor or nothing, that is what townships can do, just like any other interested party can do. It's the law statutorily required in the sense of the difference is statutorily required, and it's the way the process works. And it's not only here in Lower Saucon, but it's like that in every municipality in Pennsylvania.
We've been doing it for years, and I've been on council 38 years, and we've been doing it for a long time. And it's really helpful because one time, and I'm not going to mention the case, but the zoning hearing board did make a decision that we appealed and went to court and won. So it was unfortunate that we had to do that, but we didn't know that it was happening because we weren't getting the information prior to the zoning hearing board. So that's all I have. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Priscilla. Hunter?
Not much. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend the ribbon cutting for Get Joy Ice Cream. I get to ice cream and coffee. But I've not been able to get down there yet. I look forward to paying a visit there and getting some ice cream sometime soon. Maybe tonight. We wrap up in time. But other than that, nothing to report. Hopefully everyone has a safe night. And that's all.
Thank you, Hunter. Laura?
Okay, so,
And I'm covering fire services.
that's one of them.
Good.
I mean, I'll say some things, you can say other things that I missed, but, before that, on July 7th, I did, take advantage of one of our, free PSATS trainings, that they offer. They do Zoom calls, usually over lunch hour, almost every week. So I try to get on ones that are interesting. This one was on zoning, so it's a good topic. It's a complicated topic, so as anytime I can learn new things about zoning, I try to. On July 9th, we did have our Fire Services Executive Committee meeting. We hadn't met in June, so we have our stats from the prior 2 months before. So in May, they had 115 calls, and in June, they had 94 calls. We also have a DCED apparatus study that's underway. They started providing information on that, and we're hopeful that we will have that study report in September sometime. The fire rescue reported that they have applied for a SAFER grant. They are hoping that they might be able to fund some part-time staff positions with that if they are able to get it. I did go to the Get Joy ice cream opening last night, that seemed like a long time ago, but it was last night. Big crowd and wonderful reception, so I'm very happy to see a new business open in Lower Saucon. I wish it was closer to where I lived. Also then last night we had our EAC meeting. We reviewed the Lower Saucon Fire Rescue plans for the redo of the southeastern fire station. We have like a busy agenda for the rest of the year, so we are doing a lot of planning for our upcoming. We'll be at Community Day on August 15th doing the Mason Bee houses. Is our little make and take project for kids and families, anybody. We're also going to be promoting our composting workshop, so we'll have a sample bin there and information about getting signed up for the compost workshop, which will happen in October. We're also in September, we're doing an open space public workshop, so we are specifically going to contact property owners that have larger properties, but everybody in the public is welcome so they can understand the program and how it works. We're doing that in September on the 8th. That will be our regular meeting night. Also in September, we have our electronic recycling coming up, so hopefully just another reminder to stash your junky electronics that you want to recycle aside. We will be doing that on September 19th, which is a Saturday. We do it here at the municipal complex from 9 to 12. And I think that's all that I remember.
Can I ask a question? The open space night, you said it was on the EAC regular night?
Yes.
Okay, so then it will be on YouTube then, which would be,
Yeah.
which would be great for people to
Yeah.
go back
I
and
mean,
look at.
we probably would do it that way anyway, but yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
'Cause I think we need to get the word out about that we do have an open space program.
Right.
Thank you, Laura. Chad?
Good evening. So we are in the midst of summer, and it's nice and hot out. Anybody like to grill? You like to grill? Anybody like to grill? Dave, you like to grill? I was out grilling the other day, and my son comes out and he says, "What are you grilling?" I said, vegetables. And he's like, "What kind of vegetables are you grilling?" I said, "Summer squash and summer not." I'm a dad, I'm allowed to use these jokes. I got an official dad joke card. It was issued to me in the mail.
We score every meeting.
Yeah. What did I do last month? June 22nd was a Rail Trail Oversight Commission meeting. The number one thing that we talk about in every one of these rail trail meetings is public safety. The number one issue, people show up to these meetings consistently, since I've been going to it, since I was the liaison this year, And every time there are one or two people in the crowd that are complaining or expressing interest or concern about people using motorized bikes and operating at high speed on the rail trail system. Something has to be done in how we approach this problem. I don't know if it's additional signage. We did discuss that at our last meeting about harmonizing the language of the signs to clearly indicate what vehicles are allowed on the rail trail or not, what speeds are allowed. I don't know if there's activity from maybe law enforcement that needs to be stepped up in that way. But we definitely need to address this. It seems like it's the #1 concern. And you know, the Meadows Road opened, and I gotta give credit to the township manager here, Jay, and Lower Saucon Police Department for their action. Now that bridge is open and, you know, the vehicle traffic that was going through there, the safety studies that were done on speed and enforcement traffic, I appreciate the work there to step up and address the concerns expressed by residents regarding the speed limit on Meadows. So then there was no Parks and Rec meeting last month, or this month in July, that was canceled. Last night was the EAC meeting, as Laura discussed already. She's gone through the calendar of events. So I hope to see you out there on Community Day or at the electronics recycling event and the compost workshop that's coming up in October. I will say, in addition to the agenda items that people can find on the EAC on our website, I attended there's a Lehigh Valley EAC network of various municipalities from Lehigh and Northampton County. And we had a breakfast meetup in Bethlehem in June on the 18th, which was attended by members from 10 different municipalities. And we discussed a variety of topics. Bethlehem is looking at a styrofoam ban, rooftop solar installations, tree ordinances. Palmer Township, there was a discussion on stormwater fees. We shared our work in this township with the recycling ordinance, our stormwater management MS4, our recycling event that we're coming up, the electronics event again, the dinner that we're planning to be hosting in November for this group, Whitehall Township, working to become a bird town, looking at dark sky implementation possibilities, pesticides. The Lehigh Valley Planning Commission was in attendance and talked about becoming, you know, their role in being a centralized resource for regional EACs. And so that was a very educational and informative discussion. I appreciate that organization. And it's nice to be in a room when you come with individuals who are motivated and concerned and share ideas and energy. It really feels like we have an opportunity to do something good for this community in our area. I was at the Get Joy ribbon cutting last night, and well attended. The parking lot in the front was packed with people. I was surprised with how many individuals came out for that, but it was amazing. They picked the right day to open an ice cream shop. It was 90-some degrees. I had the moose tracks with chocolate syrup. It was really good. And I appreciate again the police departments. They had an officer on site parked in the shoulder with lights on for everyone's safety. So everything went really well with that. This coming Friday, Movies in the Park in Steel City. I believe it's Zootopia 2. So I hope some members of the community with their children can make it out to attendance to that. And I believe that's everything I have for tonight. It's a short meeting. Thank you. Yes.
Chad, we were talking about the rail trail. Do we still have police doing bike patrols? Do we still have officers that used to ride their bikes on the rail trail?
We do.
We do. Maybe that could be increased a little bit, maybe?
I will discuss it with the chief in the morning.
Okay, that'd be appreciative. And you were going through the list of all the different municipalities, and I think we should think about a solar ordinance for our farm fields.
Yeah. whether it's, on warehouses or in other locations. I just signed up today for if you recall, I'm a Master Watershed Steward with Penn State Extension, and there's a course that's going to be next month on large-scale solar, so I'm going to take that and see what I can learn about it.
And trees, we had a wonderful tree ordinance one time ago. Some years ago. And then the state decided to take over the trees, and the state is struck as our ordinance, so we had to bag and can the tree ordinance, unfortunately. So the state's in control, but if they can find a way to like squeeze something in there, like the state, you know what I'm saying, like to protect our trees, because they can come in and they log with the housing companies come in, and there's runoff afterwards and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I remember from the We Conserve PA conference that we had last year that we went down, there was a presentation on preserving and protecting, what's the term that they used? It was, not model, but to take a species that's a certain diameter and that restricts whether you can cut it down or remove it. And then heritage trees, I think that's what heritage. So, real important trees in the landscape to maintain and preserve and protect those. And then also from one of these other the network breakfasts that we had over in Easton that was a few months ago, maybe at the end of last year, we learned at that time that Easton has an initiative where they're out there planting like 800 trees in the year. So that's also part of what could be looked at to help that canopy cover. And I understand people's concerns with ticks or other wildlife that's out there, but these lawn to meadow initiatives provide valuable habitat for pollinators and butterflies and native species that come with maintenance requirements, that they don't become just overgrown and uncontrolled habitats. So that's why we're looking at this ordinance to see what we can do to provide the residents with the freedom to improve their properties.
Thank you.
That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you, Chad. For myself, I think pretty much everybody covered everything. I want to say for the Fire Services Executive Committee, we did announce that staff, with recommendation of staff, that we are seeking one of the share grant for Southeastern Station. So the fire company is pursuing replacing the Southeastern Station, and they are hopeful to do demolition the end of this year, and we're, as a township, pursuing some grants to help with that process. So that was just one highlight I wanted to provide. There is a landfill committee meeting tomorrow, so if anybody's interested on updates from the last quarter, second quarter, then please attend tomorrow's landfill committee meeting. It's at 5 p.m. right here in Town Hall. We've talked about Get Joy. It's beautiful. Go visit it. Make it a regular part of your family's routine. It's wonderful to see our community coming together and to see people of all different abilities working together to bring happiness to everyone. And it's just really a special mission that not only brings a small business, but has a very, very unique objective to help reduce the unemployment rates for those with disabilities. So I would encourage everybody to please check it out and go there often. The ice cream is great, and they will have coffee. They do have coffee. So check it out. I will, this coming month in August, I think it's 7th, 6th, and 7th, I will be going to State College. PSATS is having it's an inaugural retreat for council presidents or council supervisor presidents to help manage both their role as council president within their council, but also handle issues that may come up with the community and issues of large concern that may they draw large crowds, et cetera, and I thought it was, apparently they've decided it's enough of an issue to have a retreat for council presidents. This is their first year doing it, so I will be attending that in State College. Updates on our studies with the Minor Center and with LVPC. I stay tuned. In August, we are hoping to plan a special meeting for both LVPC and Minor Center to come and present their work thus far. I believe there will be also another public informational meeting that LVPC will be having towards the end of August. There is also, I believe, hot off the press, LVPC, as part of their study, has been sending out postcards to all residents in the township to participate in a survey. So please look out for the postcard. It's real, it's not a scam, and it's not something sent by some political company. It's done through LVPC. It brings you to a SurveyMonkey survey. It takes about 5 minutes, but it has a lot of very important questions to help our council move forward and plan for the future. So I please ask everybody to check it out. It's a QR code on the postcard that brings you to the SurveyMonkey. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to our township. They can help you access the survey, and I will hope now that we have the survey available that we can do constant contacts to alert the residents to please fill out the survey for those that look at their emails. I believe it is in the township newsletter that just went out. Somebody did alert me of that. So you can also look for the link in your township newsletter. So those are the big major updates that, that I have to share. I will turn it over to staff reports. Jay, do you have anything to share?
Just for Hunter's benefit, Get Joy is open till 10 p.m. And I just want to pat myself on the back for flipping council reports and staff reports, because as council was giving their reports, everything that was on my page I crossed off, so I have nothing to share tonight.
Okay, Steve, do you have any to report?
I do not.
Okay, engineering office.
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay, great. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, it is now 7:40 p.m. I will make sure that Stacy's aware of the time. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you next month.
Enjoy your summer.
All right, now we'll just be here till 10, signing. I already signed mine.
I came early.
Yeah, hand me over.
It would have been 7.
That's all right. Depends upon, like, it depends upon who's blocking, but yeah.
When I changed it, I challenged myself to 7:45.
My kids have no idea what day of the week it is. They completely lost track of it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's
time back to
Well,
sleeping,
and
going
Yeah.
11:30 in the morning, I'm like, I'm trying.
I remember, my kids are older, but I remember when they were younger, it was like that.
Good.
Summer, like, that's it, I'm fine, ready to go back to bed early, get on a schedule.
That's it. You didn't speak today. You
Yeah,
okay?
it was like,
That's not like you. You should get up there. Speak your piece.
I haven't looked at nothing, I haven't read nothing. I'm busy with my own issues and.
You're leading the life. I hear you.
There could be. I've seen them doing a lot of work around.
I think my name gets up there.
Yeah, I was gonna pull there. Yeah.
I saw it signed it.
What?
You
came in early.
Okay, so this is wish to allow, okay. I am going on vacation on August 27th. July 27th to August 7th. So I'm not able to sign anything.
Because they just, like, I'm not gonna go out the door the next one. Split it one and split it out. I think my kids are watching too. And I'm looking supposed to. Sure. And I'm taking
Are you freshman?
No, the junior.
I was gonna say who you came in.
Where's he going?
Yeah, you too. Mark, have a good one.
So I go.
Princeton.
You ever?
Thursday, come back.
Do I ever what?
For a week.
What's your oldest year? What year are you?
You got me on camera still? You all
I
shut
know
down.
you're one who's in now.
What were you asking?
That,